Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Anything But Nothing, the podcast where we talk about anything, and it means nothing, but it means something to me. I'm your host, David Connolly, aka Fenrirock, and today we are discussing sports stuff. We haven't really talked about sport. Yeah, we have. Never mind. I'm lying about that. That was the first podcast for Anything But Nothing was sports stuff, so I'm full of shit. Whatever. Today, we're talking about something that I was excited for once they announced it was going to happen months ago, and then they revealed it, and they finally got them sell, and mine finally came in. The rivalry jerseys for the NFL. We're going to rank them because it's something we do on the Fenrirock channel, so we're going to do it today. We'll also do it here on Anything But Nothing. So we're going to have some fun doing this. For those who are not aware, I am a bit of a quote-unquote uniform connoisseur. I like making uniforms. I like designing uniforms. That's why I had so much fun making the FFL. Go check it out on Fenrirock Sports, by the way. Of making custom uniforms and just having fun with them. And I like alternate uniforms. I love exploring alternate uniforms. I love throwback uniforms. Right here, you can see in the corner of the shot, I have my Joe Montana one I wore the other day on my channel. I love uniforms. Today, we're going to discuss these rivalry uniforms. We're going to rank them from 8 to 1. One of these other ones I might consider buying, but more than likely not. And we'll just see how things go. I'm not going to waste much of your guys' time. We're just going to jump on into this. I also promise, bias has nothing to do with this. Except maybe number one. But also, it's also going to be evident once you get to the higher part of my rankings of what I think about some of these things. But number 8, we do start off with the Los Angeles Rams. The pros of this one is they don't actively look bad. Like they do look kind of cool. But the cons outweigh the pros for me in this one. Con number 1, these just feel uninspired. It looks like they just got the Rams uniform and made it not black. Yeah, they say it's not black. Come on, that's the darkest. Like another team made the same thing of, oh no, it's navy, it's black. There is a point where you go too dark. Maybe in person, maybe up close, you see more blue. But no, they're black. Damn it. They also could not stay away from the gradients. If you look carefully on the shoulder plate, it still has gradient into the blue. The blue also is kind of out of place on the shoulder there. It is interesting. I think what might have been kind of cool for this one is go back to the classic white colors. That might have been kind of sweet, like the classic white horns and stuff. Make it kind of a black and white uniform. That could have been kind of cool. Instead, it just, I don't know. I have them on the side of here on my screen again, looking at them while I'm talking about this. I just don't feel it. It just feels very kind of boring. Like, it feels like they went, oh, we make it also uniform, black one, please, but not black. Yeah, it's just very. It's gonna be a shorter episode, by the way, guys. Kind of a shorter, quick little episode because there's only 8 of these. Maybe in the future we'll re-rank these things once they reveal more. That'd be kind of fun, I think. Number 7, again, we have the Miami Dolphins for this almost the same reason as the Rams. But first, the pros. They do look clean. They look nice. They look sharp. They actually, it feels like a nice alternate uniform. It fits into the wardrobe. Like I said, it feels like a nice alternate uniform. And the numbers, it's an interesting number. The shading they put on the numbers, it's an interesting little touch. I like it. They should have leaned more into the Miami Vice thing. I know everyone was saying that's what's going to happen. It does feel like the teams mainly, for the most part, stayed in their color schemes. But Miami Vice could have been so cool. Just throw some pink in there. Maybe instead of the orange, done pink. That's what I'm saying. Because with the orange and kind of tealish blue color, I can't unsee the Rattlers. For those who are not aware, I am a arena football fan, indoor football fan, everything. I've despised the Arizona Rattlers my entire life, and I cannot unsee the Rattlers when I look at these uniforms. It bugs me. It just kind of, I don't know, it just, what I put in here too, it just kind of lacks identity. It just, I don't know, it doesn't feel like it just feels like an alternate. It just doesn't feel like a rivalry jersey. It doesn't feel like something that's special. It just feels like another alternate jersey. And again, it's not black. Come on, man, that's freaking black. Okay, number 6, the Jets. This is kind of where it stops, where I actively disliking them. Like, I don't dislike the other two. It's just like for what they are. I don't like what they are in the scheme of the rivalry set. The Jets are the first one we get into the okay, cool. We're starting actually liking them and going up from where I want. The pros, the shade of green they chose for this is freaking great. Kind of that grayscale green, military kind of all drabby kind of green they chose. It looks freaking awesome. It kind of reminds me of the New York Titan throwbacks the Jets used to wear. Those were sweet throwbacks. They looked pretty cool. They still fit in with the wardrobe. I think that might have been what they're going with. I didn't read too deeply into the inspiration of these uniforms, but I would not be surprised if these were a tribute to the New York Titans. I also like the cover grate on the shoulder plates. It looks nice. Yes, yeah, the details on the shoulders look nice. It's a nice looking jersey. The helmet's boring. They with the black helmet again, instead of having white letters, they went with silver letters and then put the stripe down the middle. Come on, like could either just I don't know. It's hard to say what they could have done with the helmet, but just maybe gone with like more of a military plain black color, or just like either go matte because it looks like they went with the shine. They might have gone matte, or gone with like more like a silver helmet, or gone with like just done unitards. I know people don't like unitards. So this one I feel like the unicolor would have worked and had the details be black, like the black Jets logo, black stripe, basically inverse what they actually did. Make that the helmet color. I feel that might have been a little bit better. It's just missing kind of contrast. The silver they chose, it doesn't pop enough for me. It could look better in action. Most things do look better in action. We're going off of pictures here, folks. I know these are out in the wild now, obviously, but I don't know. It feels like a safe uniform. It's not a bad uniform. It actually looks pretty good, but it's out of the ones I quote unquote like. It's my least favorite. But that's all I have to say about that. Number 5. This one's going to surprise people. I do have the Bills as my number 5. While I do like them, like they're super clean. They're a good choice of only using the blue. Some people say they wanted the red. The red could have been a good little pop, but the feeling of blue, I feel like was a good choice. The shoulder logo, that diamondized icy bill logo on their shoulder, mwah, it's so good. It looks so freaking sweet. I love looking at it. It perfectly fits into the Buffalo feel. It's it goes along with their their main wardrobe is pretty much an all white uniform. Sometimes they wear the blue pants, sometimes they wear the brown pants, but it fits in with their wardrobe, and the stripes are simple, but they're effective. I like the frosty effect on the stripes. The cons, though, let's be honest here, this feels like a copy and paste of the Vikings whiteout uniforms. Like, it's very, very similar, including the helmet logo with the silver instead of being the normal colors. It feels very, very much like the Vikings all-white uniforms with, their own little additions here, but it feels like we're just doing that again. It's not a huge departure from the normal uniform. Like, yes, they have the cool diamonds, but like the jerseys themselves are very, very simple. This whole thing is very, very. They went for the simple and clean look, which, as a Kingdom Hearts fan, I can appreciate. They also just better hope it does not snow when they wear these uniforms, because they're not going to be able to see each other at all. If you're playing Madden and you're playing a snow game, do not wear these uniforms. That would be a very, very, very ill-advised idea. They look good. Just they're there. They look good. There's the cons or the pros outweigh the cons heavily here. Number 4, the Seahawks. I actually really like the Seahawks uniforms. The helmets absolutely rule. I love that kind of like green foresty, green teal kind of gradient helmet they have going on, like the metallic-y cover with it. It looks freaking awesome. I actually would not mind seeing these be their actual uniforms. They like leaning into the wacky side of things. If they don't go with their throwbacks full time, or do like a retro classic with the throwbacks with the modern style, I would not mind seeing these as their their full time uniforms. I think they would look good, and they're a good contrast to go against their throwbacks. It's a good use of the green. You put in the green as kind of like breaking out from underneath the color. It's a good use for it. The numbers look sweet as well. The subtle, the substituting the feathers for the 12s on the numbers is cheesy, but good cheese. We like good cheese here. The cons, though, is I feel like they should have gone the inverse. Maybe either gone green with white breaking through, green with the dark navy blue breaking through, or blue with the green popping through. I feel like they should have done that instead of going with a full wolf gray, but that's just being nitpicky because I don't know. Or gone with the classic blue and then had the green coming through. Those are just me being nitpicky because overall, honestly, I do think this is one of the. It just looks nice. I like looking at it. I thought they're gonna get rid of the green alternate uniforms. They still have them. People were kind of sad they got rid of them. They didn't get rid of them, folks. The green jerseys are still there. So I don't know. I actually actively like. I would not mind. I think we played them in Seattle, so they did not wear those against us. Those monsters. We're wearing ours against them. Because you can't wear it's the rivalry rules are weird, but they are what they are. Again, I actively like these are right in the middle. Number 4 on the positive side. Number 3, we do have the New England Patriots. I love these. These look fantastic. They are awesome, and I again would not mind seeing these being their main uniforms. It's just an actual nice uniform. I like the new NE for New England they made for the shoulders. I've been clamoring for them to switch to a white primary helmet forever. This exact helmet is what I've been wanting to do, just with the Flying Elvis. Instead of having the the gray they chose for the tail, keep it red with the modern logo. Like pick the uniform they have now, as it's because the uniforms they have now are throwbacks to the '80s uniforms, just blue instead of the red. And then, but they kept the modern helmets. Obviously, it's like the color rush, but you know what they did with them. But imagine that uniform right now with the modern helmet, with this helmet, with their rivalry uniform helmet, with the red on the Flying Elvis instead. I feel like that would look so freaking good. It would look so good. Do it. they're open. Thankfully, the Patriots are really open to criticisms about their uniforms, because people were telling them stop wearing the blue unitards, and now they're wearing the silver pants, and it looks so much better. I like it. There's going to be a lot of looks like an IFL uniform, especially with the stars. That's not a bad thing. There's some pretty sweet IFL uniforms. I'm a Panthers fan. Panthers have fantastic jerseys. The Rattlers, for as much as I hate them, have nice jerseys. Fisher Freight have pretty sweet jerseys. The Vegas Nighthawks have, congratulations on winning, have pretty nice uniforms. So saying a uniform looks like arena, that's not an insult anymore. A lot of the uniforms in the arena look better than the freaking NFL uniforms. And I really like it. And the color, the stars, everything about this looks really good. The cons, I put no red in the logo. I don't know why they put the gray in the Flying Elvis. They should have stuck with the red. They have red on the uniform. Should have just gone with it. Should have been a red face mask too. I feel like a red face mask could have been a good pop with this. Maybe not. I don't know. Or I see what they were going with. Maybe the mask in the navy color, because it has the other navy in there as well. That'd be kind of cool. I've said this before. I do think this looks better than the current uniforms. I feel like this would be a good switch up, but that's not going to happen, because if anything, they're going to switch. There's rumors they might make the '90s uniform throwback. That'd be kind of cool. I miss the gigantic Flying Elvis on the shoulders. Number 2, we do have the Cardinals. They nailed the concept they're going for. The desert camo. It looks freaking awesome. The state logo on the shoulder is such a nice touch. They had that in one of their older uniforms. I love it. It looks so freaking good. There's a lot of comments about this. There is nothing wrong with looking like a tortilla, because tortillas are amazing. And it's Arizona. There's a lot of tortillas in Arizona, and it looks cool. Yes, it looks like a tortilla. It's too funny. It screams desert. It absolutely screams desert when you look at this thing. Adding copper too, because copper is the metal. If I'm saying this correctly, copper is the metal of Arizona. Adding copper around the state looks so good. I'll jump on the other part in a little bit. It adds to their very boring wardrobe. I know some people like it. Right now, their wardrobe is boring. They went too clean with their uniforms. Now, granted, I follow NFL fashion advice on Twitter. He admits too, their uniforms look so much better if they wore the white pants with the red jerseys. I fully agree. The red unitard looks terrible. Their away uniform, the all white, looks so good because it has nice little pops of red everywhere. It looks so good. And yeah, the only problem I really have with this is the copper on the numbers. I don't know. It just doesn't look right to me. The copper is around the state. It's because it's a solid copper line. It looks good. The number using it as a drop shadow is weird because it's brighter than the number itself. I don't know. Well, it's weird. It's like brighter but not. It's a weird choice to use that as a drop shadow for the number. But that's really a nitpick, because otherwise it looks fantastic on the leg stripe. It looks fantastic around. It looks so good around the state logo. But around the number, I don't know. I'm not feeling it on the number. Maybe they should have just made the Arizona copper, made the Arizona on top copper, and then made the number a solid number. Or if they wanted to add black, because black's one of their main colors too, made the drop shadow on the number black. Who knows? I don't know. Or just something. I don't like the copper on the number. Otherwise, everything else is fan-freaking-tastic. Now, obviously, this means number 1 for me is the 49ers, faithful to the Bay jerseys. I mean, I was a fan of the original red and black Niners jerseys. Before they announced those way back in the day, I wanted those jerseys because the practice jerseys were red and black. I'm like, I want that so bad. And then they made it. But unfortunately, back then, the helmet rule screwed things up. And It is what it is. Now, I will say, I'll get one con out of the way. Well, I do like the black helmet. I feel like they still should have just kept the gold helmet, but do what I've been saying forever and just use the 98 helmets. Use the 98 helmet, which was a red stripe, black outlines, red face mask. That's all you have to do. But the black helmets do look pretty damn sweet, if I do say so myself. Pros, these aren't just biased. I mean, it's just a good looking jersey. I'm sorry, it's a good looking jersey. Using the saloon font, mwah, the gold outline on it, mwah, gold. They brought back the gold Nike, mwah, kept the red shoulder strips, mwah, mwah, mwah. It looks so good. I want more saloon font stuff. I love the saloon font. People, the Niners have been wanting it. I would not mind. Honestly, I know it's not traditional. That people don't want to screw with the perfect uniforms, even though they are perfect uniforms. I would not mind seeing the saloon font on the normal uniforms. Straight up. Just put the saloon font. Like, if you want to combine, like, do a combination of Niners uniforms, stick with the current iteration of the 80s throwback jersey. It has the 49ers in the saloon font on there now, which is why I still need to get one because I don't have any with the 49ers saloon font on the top. But if they want to stick with the black drop shot, because a lot of people are clamoring to make the 94 uniform throwbacks our main uniforms because they do look nice and everything, except I still prefer gold pants over white pants, but we're not talking about that right now. Do the saloon font with the drop shadow. Just, it would look so freaking sweet. For people, a lot have been clamoring for this too. It's like, there's no black in the 49ers uniform. They should stay away from black. Why are they doing black? Black has always been there. Have you paid attention to the logo? The outline is part of the logo and it's a pretty significant part of our logo. Especially the original logo was just the black outline and then the red and the SF. It's always been there. Black has always been a mainstay color for the 49ers. This is why in the 90s we had the drop shadow in black. One of the original was also, by the way, a throwback to our old ass uniforms back when we had red helmets, which had the black drop shadow. I kind of wish we had a red helmet too. The red helmet actually could have been sweet too as a throwback nod to the original. But not many people know we had. We also had silver helmets at one point. That was a weird time. But it's just, black's always been there, folks. Again, I do feel like a 98 helmet would have been cool. And also, even like, instead of doing black pants, do the 98 style pants, except for the logo on the hip. I never liked the logo on the hip. That was kind of weird. But red stripe with black outlines, that could have been cool too if you want to keep the black pants. But the gold face mask with the black helmet looks good. I'm kind of glad they didn't put the red face mask on that one. It's a good contrast to go with things. Makes things pop that much more. Now, there are cons. I do have cons with this uniform. Faithful on the font is a little silly. I feel like on the collar, because it says Faithful to the Bay on the collar, was enough. The hat, also, I did order the hat. It's going to be here tomorrow. I also do have the original draft hat that says Faithful to the Bay on it. I just love that freaking hat so much. But Faithful to the Bay on the collar was enough. Putting Faithful here is a little bit silly, but I get it. It's the Faithful jersey to us, the 49er Faithful. I appreciate it. I kind of like it also in cursive. It's also embroidered. I mean, I did spend the extra to get the stitched version because why not? I'm sick. I wanted the Warner one, but they sold out before I woke up. I was expecting things to sell out. I didn't know there was a way it could sell out. That kind of made me mad. Whatever. But I feel like that's about that. And also, the Niners, for their social media team, and they were hyping this thing up about the new logo where it's just the SF. Where is it? Why wasn't, like, I feel like the helmet actually might look better. Instead of having the gigantic 49ers logo on the side, just doing the SF in red or SF in gold would have looked nicer. But they didn't do that. It could have looked cool, but they stuck with the normal logo. Maybe they tested it and it didn't test well. I don't know. I'm not the one making paid a lot of money to make these uniforms, but I'm the one paying a lot of money to get these uniforms. I'm so glad the rivalry jerseys are here. I'm excited to see them in action. I'm excited to jump into Madden to start I was actually originally not going to do a fantasy franchise for the 49ers or just do a franchise like I usually do. But with them adding the rivalry jerseys in the games, I'm going to do it now over on Fenrirock Sports. If you haven't done so, please jump over to Fenrirock Sports. I have the FFL Fantasy Franchise League where I made a completely new 32-team league with the Fenrirock Shadow Wolves over there playing. We're currently, by the time you hear this video, it will be up. So we are 1-1 to start the season. We lost the SaberCats in week 1, and we just beat the Arizona Rattlers in week 2. Pretty handily, I might say. But it's fun. It's fun to play that game. Also, I'm doing more on Fenrirock Sports now. We actually have, if you like this style, we're talking about sports uniforms, talking about other random crap in sports, pick'ems, stuff like that. Over on Fenrirock Sports is the place to go. I'm expanding my content over there. I'm inspired greatly by Mr. Tom Grossi. I'm not trying to rip it. Excuse me. I apologize. I'm not trying to rip the man off for anything, but with his style of content, I love his style stuff. And it's like I always wanted like the multiverse videos. While I always planned to do them, he also was inspiration to do them. I kind of go off what he did with I always thought ways to do it, and him and Call Me Chris were the inspiration for me to get behind the series and finally actually starting to do it. It was always in my head, and it was made me want to do it. So head over to Fenrirock Sports. Great things are going to be going in the future there. Hopefully we can start getting more traction because like it had good traction for a while, and then I stopped uploading for almost a year. So it's understandable why no one's watching it right now. But so please, if you like my sports related content, please head over there and check out Fenrirock Sports. But as for here on, drop me a follow the podcast. It's we're playing this everywhere you want. You might be watching it on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe. If you're not, check me on the podcast. This thing is available on anywhere you get podcasts. If you want to speak to me, I'm available on all social medias. They're all Twitter, Instagram. But if you want to talk about YouTube stuff, Twitter and Instagram is the place to go. Fenrirock everywhere except Instagram and Fenrirock7. Please subscribe to my YouTube channels. Thank you guys so much for watching this. Thanks so much for listening to this. Thanks for so much giving me the blessings of wasting your beautiful time. I appreciate it so damn much. But as always, you've been great. I've been Fenrirock. This is anything but nothing. Until next time, you guys tune in. Take care.